Hi everybody, I'm Michaela Richardson, and today I'm going to be doing a video of how to do a front handspring. So let's just get started. So we're first just going to stretch out, so we're going to start with our backs. So now we're going to stretch our legs. You can choose your bad leg. I normally do this is my bad leg. And just do a lunge. Make sure that your knee and your ankle are almost exactly in line. Don't go like this and do a lunge because it's not as good of a stretch. Or this either, it's not as good of a stretch. So try to do it just about the right above knee, right above your ankle, and just hold this for a little bit. And then you can also do this stretch. This will stretch out your hamstrings, which is also good because you don't want to pull a hamstring. And this doesn't matter if you go down like this, you can if you want. Just try to make sure you feel stretch right here and hold it for a little bit. Try not to go up very much. Just go as low as you can and try to hold it there. Okay, so now that leg is stretched, and you're going to stretch our other leg. So do the same thing. Make sure your knee is directly above your ankle and hold this. Also, you do feel a deeper stretch if you get your hands off the ground, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, now we are going to go back again into this stretch. It doesn't matter if you sit down, but I kind of like to do it both ways just because it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we are just going to stretch out our wrists and shoulders and ankles quickly. So to stretch out our wrists, we're just going to do some of these. You can do it slowly or fast. It doesn't really matter, but just make sure your wrists are loose and stretched out kind of, so you don't sprain your wrist or something, because you're more likely to sprain your wrist if you don't stretch them out. Okay, and now we're just going to roll our ankles around a little bit to stretch them out. And don't do this. I know a lot of people don't think they need to just use both their hands, but it does actually help to stretch out your ankles if you use your hands rather than your feet, because your feet is just using your ankles. So then do your other ankle. You can roll them both ways too. It doesn't really matter which way if you just want to do one way too. And then now stretch your shoulders by putting your arm across to the other side, to your other shoulder. And if you're down here, that's fine. I just feel stretchier, so yeah. And then do that to your other arm and hold this for a little bit. And you can also go over and you can push it down like that, or if you are able to, you can grab your hand in the back depending on where you feel stretch. And if you can't grab your hand, it is better to just do this. So do that to the other side too. Okay, and now we are hopefully all stretched out. And if you want to warm up a little bit because you're in a cold space, you could do some jumping jacks, run in place, something like that. But yeah, anyways, so now let's start with drills. So a skill that it is good to have to be able to do a front handspring, it took me a while to figure this out, but it's actually a handstand, which kind of makes sense. You won't be able to see my whole body. Actually, if you do it against my door, this might be a little bit loud, but it doesn't really matter your posture going into it. This is just a handstand, but try to kick up and make sure you're like straight up, and don't do a handstand and just like, I don't know how to do it, but oh no, see, I can't really do it, but don't like go in like that position and let your booty hit the door, because that like really won't help you get a straight handstand. And if that does happen, try to straighten out your legs towards the door, and then try to push off with your like heels. Make sure when you're going into your handstand, make sure your shoulders are above your wrists. That actually helps me, and then you can get higher. We're not really trying to balance. It doesn't matter which way your head looks, if it looks at the floor or at whatever that way. But make sure you're not like this, and make sure you push your hips off the door with your heels, and yeah. Sorry, I sound weird upside down. Anyways, so that is kind of like an example handstand. Not the best, obviously, but like try like doing some handstands and make sure they're controlled. And if you can't get up, keep trying, or like watch other videos. I don't know, like other people have done videos on how to do a handstand, and those might help. But I definitely think a handstand helped me with my front handspring. So now let's go on to the next step. So this next step is a front limber kind of. So you go into a handstand and then land in a bridge with supposedly 2 feet, although you don't have to if you don't want to. And I would suggest doing this on like a soft surface like a trampoline before you do it on like a ground or even like a gymnastics mat, because sometimes you might just land flat on your back. I'm just going to show you kind of what a front limber looks like. I don't think I'm going to land 2 feet. And at the end, you don't have to stand up. I just did because I'm able to, and I don't know. And also, if you are able to stand up, it does kind of help you get the motions. Yeah, so try to master that. Even with 2 feet is better. It's just like kind of harder. I don't know. At first it was easier for me, but now that I'm able to do it 1 foot then the other, it's just like, I don't know. Also, if you already have a front walkover, that would be good too. You don't have to, obviously. Like, I had my front handspring on the trampoline before I had my front walkover. But yeah. So if you want to, you can just keep doing front limbers and try to like push up your shoulders more. But this was kind of just the point where I went straight to like trying my front handspring. I just kept trying the like front limber more, and then I kind of got the motions of the front handspring. So yeah, now I'm gonna go outside on the trampoline to show you the front handspring since I cannot do it on the ground yet. Okay, so I'm now outside and the trampoline is behind me, and so I'm just gonna get this like camera situation set up, and then I'm going to show you like kind of how to do a front handspring, like the last steps. And sorry about the background noise, I can't really help that. And I think I'm going to do a voiceover because I don't think you'll be able to hear me very well from the trampoline. And I don't really want to yell because that's kind of just not something I like to do. So first, I would suggest practicing hurdling into handstands to get like the feel of like the first part. This one I fell into a bridge, which is completely fine. And then when I was standing up, I fell backwards because this is on an upward slope. So yeah. So practice this a few times until you master it. And next, practice front limbers. Because if you're on a soft surface, try landing 2 feet because that's what you want to do for a front handspring. So it's helpful to do it just without the bounce. And yeah, you can also stand up from them. It doesn't really matter, but
and then hurdle into a handstand onto your back or bottom. It doesn't really matter which, but this helps too. After this, I would just say throw a front handspring, because what do you have to lose? Some tips. That one I was going too slow, and all of these I didn't have my legs together fast enough, so also try to like snap your legs together and down, and hopefully that tip will help. But yeah, just keep trying over and over again, and that's kind of what will help you the most. And if you fail, you fail. But yeah, and also this is me just doing back walkovers because why not? I just like got it recently, so I wanted to just do it.
Okay, so since I'm already out here, I'm just gonna do an outro out here. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video who you think would like it. So I hope you got your front handspring, and bye.